And welcome in, everybody. Glad you're with us. Major League Baseball on tap. It's the Washington Nationals taking on the Philadelphia Phillies. With Chris Singleton, I'm John Shambi. Well, Singy, when you consider the top hitters' ballparks in the sport, this has got to be one of them.
I'll say this. Pitchers have to stay with their game. They can't look over their shoulder and think, I have to be fine and perfect on every pitch. Continue to pitch to your strengths, and you'll come out of here with a good outing.
All right, we'll be back to get this one started after this. All right, just about ready for baseball. And on the mound today, Zach Wheeler. Always a treat to watch one of the best starters in the sport, Singy.
It's always interesting to see how he utilizes all of his pitches and how many of those he has a good feel for on that given day. When he's right, he's really able to keep hitters guessing, and all of his stuff seems to be coming out of the same arm slot, the same tunnel, and that can make life very difficult on his opponents.
All right, ready to go here. And now, Alex Call. That one fouled off. Swings through it for the K. He swung over top of the curveball.
Oh, that's a curveball that people like to describe as a hammer or Uncle Charlie, and you can see why. It's not a looping slow curve. He throws it hard, and it gets plenty of bite on the end.
Up now for Washington, James Wood. That one finds the corner, and that is strike one. One out, base is empty. Foul ball. It's through for a hit. So a man aboard now with one away.
Well, he found himself behind in the count right there, but he didn't give in. I know that was a ground ball, but it was absolutely hammered through the infield. That's not one you're excited to get in front of if you're an infielder. You know, they used to say, charge it. Crazy. And now they've got some speed on first, so we'll see if they try to get him into motion.
And now it's Keibert Ruiz. Kepler brings it in. 2 down.
Batting fourth, the first baseman.
As we take a look at the Nationals lineup, they're dealing with a top-level arm on the mound, so this figures to be a tough matchup for them. What's the key to the offense today, Singy?
Oh, Boog, I think when you got a guy that's this talented on the mound, you got to find ways to disrupt his rhythm, make him uncomfortable a little bit. The guys that can handle the bat and perhaps, bunt for a base hit, get him moving off the mound. If you're in the box and he seems to be just in a flow, step out, mess up his timing, somehow try to get in his head a little bit. And then when he does come in the zone, you may only get one pitch. You better not miss it.
Wood leads off first with 2 down to the inning.
No ball, 2 strike.
Swing and a miss. Curveball in the dirt. Real Muto collects, fires to first, and it's in time for the 3rd out, so that'll end the inning. Back at Citizens Bank Park. And our pitcher tonight, Mackenzie Gore.
Well, there are going to be a lot of balls in play because of the ground ball rate. Important that the defense stays engaged in the game. I think it's critical. Tempo is there. If you work quickly, it helps the fielders behind you to stay engaged, to make those plays and help you get through the innings.
Bottom of the 1st. And now the shortstop, Trey Turner, gets the outside corner with that one. Now, power is such a big part of the success that we see with the good teams in the league right now and even in the postseason. There's a swing and a drive. That one's carrying. Gone. A massive home run. It's 1-0. He absolutely crushed that one.
No doubt about that one, Boog. We knew it wasn't coming back. That's exactly the pitch he was looking for. Crushes it and hits it out of the ballpark.
And now it's Bryce Harper to the plate. The first overall pick back in 2010. That's way outside. And that's ball one. Swing and a miss, strike one.
With the big bats coming up and a home run already surrendered, he's really going to have to execute against these next couple of batters.
The 1-1 is fouled off. Kicks and deals. Fights it off. He'll see another. Next offering upstairs.
Way to lay off that fastball up right there. You're looking for something you see well that you can handle, but you also have to keep the discipline so that you're not popping up pitches that are just a little too high.
And that one is lifted in the air. Cruz on the move. And there's one down. And time now for the Phillies lineup.
Third baseman.
We could be in for a power showcase today with the wind blowing out. A lot of lift and separate, Chris.
Well, we know hitters are in this era definitely trying to hit the ball in the air regardless of the conditions. But I think even a little more so there's margin for error if you can get the ball up in the air. So, you know, you'll see at times, I'm sure, with two strikes, what looks like a half swing that can get out of the ballpark with a hitter who's got decent pop.
Alec Bohm in the box now. No balls and a strike. Swing and a chopper out to short. Throw off line. He's safe. And a nice job there to keep it from getting away.
That's a play you expect your shortstop to make pretty much every time. Pretty routine. Hard to tell if he didn't get a great grip on it or the mechanics on him just broke down, but that gives this offense an extra out to work with.
So a man at first. Kyle Schwarber now at the plate. And that is out of play. Here comes the 0-1. And there's a foul ball. This one in the dirt. Cuts on it and misses. That's a strikeout. Gassed it right by him.
Well, that was a really good job setting him up right there. Pitcher and catcher working together to finish him off with a fastball. And even though the location probably wasn't what he wanted, the sequence is what got the job done. Clearly late with the swing after seeing the off-speed stuff on the pitch before.
Nick Castellanos at the plate now. Drilled in the air, high and deep right field. Call. Going back. Squeezes it. That is the inning. But they're off to a good start as they pick up a run on this solo shot. It's now 1-0. Back here, Citizens Bank Park. Second inning set to go. And now the switch hitting first baseman Josh Bell.
He's got pop, which is a little sneaky because he's so comfortable with taking his base hits to the opposite field. But he can jump you if you make a mistake.
Strike on the inside corner.
I mean, that's perfect location, right on the black. I mean, over and over again, this guy demonstrates the ability to hit those spots. They're so tough to do anything with as a hitter.
Check swing, and he went 0-2.
0-2.
Fouls it back with 2 strikes. That one down the line, and foul ball. And downstairs.
Really good take, especially with 2 strikes.
Fouls it off, still 1-2. Bell puts it in the air out towards left center. Kepler makes the grab, 1 down.
Batting 6, the second baseman, Luis
And
Garcia.
now it's Luis Garcia. That one the other way. Boom. Throws on to first, and they got him.
Batting 7, the third baseman, number 13.
And now it's Ahmed Rosario.
Rosario.
Feels like it's less common today that you see a guy like this. The speed component, the contact component, but lack of power.
I think baseball's starting to understand that those guys are valuable like they once were. They need them in this game today.
That one to first. He takes it himself to the bag, and that'll do it. Nothing doing for Washington. They trail here 1-0. Back here in Philadelphia, bottom of the inning. Now batting Max Kepler.
Max Kepler.
Gore back to work. In for a strike. 0-1. Nowadays, with advanced metrics and increased use of moving the infielders around, defense isn't necessarily about making errors. Are you able to get to the ball? Are you able to position fielders where hitters hit the ball, but within the new shift rules? The 1-1. Swing and a miss. Oh, and he lost the handle on that one.
And an area that goes unnoticed is the coach that's responsible for positioning, and then the research person that's providing the information. So what we're seeing in baseball, so many more people behind the scenes that are contributing to the success between the lines.
Next pitch is outside. Back when you played, it wasn't the empirical data we have now. It was a guy with a ruler and a diamond taking a colored pencil and drawing a line where he thought someone had hit the ball, right?
That, or just going off of gut or feel. What does it look like his swing is today? What's the pitcher throwing? They are sticking to the metrics and what seems to be most consistent for that hitter, regardless of who the pitcher is on the mound.
JT Real Muto in the box here. Lets that one go for a ball. Line drive. Brings it in with a nice running grab. And there's 2 away.
That was just a great jump and route to the ball. Well, it had to be. If he was going to cover all that ground and bring in that sinking liner, that's the way it had to be done. Nice job.
This one chopped up the middle. Nunez safe at first, and an infield single keeps the inning going.
Did a nice job getting there. Good throw, but very difficult to get anybody on that one as far as you had to go and throw. You know?
Yeah, no question. Runner at first with 2 away. And digging in for Philadelphia, Johan Rojas. And that one hammered. And it stays fair. Throw stops the lead runner at second. 2 on and 2 out.
Didn't take long to get a result for that at bat. Got a fastball, middle of the plate, jumped all over it. Absolutely smoked that ball.
So the batting order turns over. Trey Turner stands in for the Phillies. He's already homered here in this one. Swinging a foul back. That's out of play. Swing and a ground ball, and that one gets through into center field. Throw in holds the lead runner at third, so it'll be bases loaded and 2 gone.
Stringing them together, that's 3 hits in a row. Timing on the swing was good, able to shoot the ball up the middle. Didn't square it up as much as he probably would have liked, but that's a good approach paying off. Now the bases loaded, big opportunity for them to break this game open.
Here's Bryce Harper. Hard grounder into the outfield for a knock. 1 runs in. Now a second crosses the plate, and they're up by 3. To second, out, and he can't get back. That ends the inning, and they limit the damage. So 2 runs on 4 hits, no errors, and 1 left. We head on down to the top of the 3rd. It's the Phillies 3 and the Nationals nothing. And we're back, all set for the start of the inning. And here's the rookie center fielder, Dylan Cruz. On the ground to third. Knocks it down. The throw won't get there in time. And so they end up with some speed on at first.
Batting 9, the shortstop, Nasim Nunez.
And now up for Washington, Nasim Nunez. And that misses. 1-0.
This is a great dynamic right here. Speedy runner at first, thinking about taking second. Catcher with the pop time that leaves Jaws on the floor. This might get interesting, Boo.
Swing and a miss as he was late that time.
This is one of those situations the infielders have to pre-plan and understand that the ball's got to be hit extremely hard right at them if they're going to have a chance to go for a double play.
Cruz gets his lead at first with nobody out. On the ground right side, 4. Not in time. He's safe.
Now batting, the right fielder, Alex Call.
And now here's the Nationals leadoff man, Alex Call. He's 0 for 1. Check swing, and he went. Strike 1.
Well, the offense has gotten going, and a pitcher wants to go out there, have a real quick inning, get those guys back into the dugout so those bats can stay hot.
Swing and a high fly ball, well struck. Way back there. And he brings it into the warning track. Runner tags and goes to third.
Well, those can be pretty fun as an outfielder. Got to put it into his highest gear and go a long way to track that one down. Nothing better than that. You feel like a wide receiver playing football.
So digging in, James Wood. 1 for 1 with a single so far. That one finds the zone. It's 0-1.
Really good job in this spot to get ahead in the count. He's going to have to finish off this hitter.
And that one clips the corner.
Big pitch right here. He's going to try to make a pitch that's going to produce a strikeout or a ground ball double play.
First and third, one down. Foul ball, still 0-2.
Well, the hitter's got his timing down for the breaking ball. If you're a pitcher, if you can get that fastball in on the hands, it's going to be very difficult for that hitter to get the barrel to it.
Good eye in that spot.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
Hit on the ground, might be 2. Fired to second. Not in time at first. It's a fielder's choice.
Now batting. Catcher,
I promise you, there are guys that get a little bit faster when they can smell an RBI. That was a possible inning-ending double play. Great hustle, and he gets rewarded with the RBI because of it.
Keibert Ruiz digging in for the Nationals. Fly to left his first time. And that's through there for a strike. And it's 0-1. Ruiz, 26 years old, and he was born in Venezuela. In the air, right field. Castellanos moves on it. He makes the grab, and that is that. So a run on 1 hit, no errors, and a man left. We move on to the bottom of inning number 3. It's the Phillies 3 and the Nats 1. Set for the bottom of the third, and here comes Alec Bohm.
Third baseman, Alec
Bohm, the third overall pick in the 2018 draft out of Wichita State. Ripped on a line. Lays out and makes the play.
Now batting, the designated hitter, Kyle Schwarber.
And wow, what a great diving catch, Singy. StatCast says that was a near perfect route, and it had to be.
That's just a big part of his game. I mean, this guy's instincts just seem to always put him in a position to make special plays, and right there, he's done it again.
Here comes Schwarbs to the plate. First offering misses badly for ball 1. And that's in for a strike. And that one clips the corner.
2 strikes to a guy who's already 0 for 1 with the punch out. The only guy in the lineup with that strikeout. But you can't get too relaxed. You still got to make good pitches to get him out.
Upstairs. That one misses, and it's 3-2. Cuts and misses. It's a strikeout.
Well, that right there is just a pitcher's pitch. Tailing away from the hitter, low and away with some good action at the end. You know, even if he gets the bat to that ball, it's probably just a weak ground ball to the opposite side. I tell you what, that's a tremendous 2-strike pitch.
Castellanos at the plate with 2 away. Swings through that one. 2 out, space is empty.
1-1.
Just missed. Line drive ripped down the left side towards the left field corner.
Now batting, the left fielder,
Max Kepler at the plate. Grounded out his first time. This one in the air. Rosario. And that's the inning. One left for Philadelphia, but they still lead it 3-1. New inning getting started. Now it's the Nationals cleanup hitter, Nathaniel Lowe.
Nathaniel Lowe.
Called strike right there.
You know, these Nationals just lacking discipline at the plate in this ball game. They're chasing a lot of pitches outside the zone, and those chases are turning into a bunch of outs. Can they turn that around and stay within the zone? We'll see, but I think they have to.
Goes down looking.
Well, that at-bat seemed to be over as soon as it started. 3-pitch strikeout. You've got to be better at the plate right there, at least to foul something off, extend that at-bat.
Here's Josh Bell. Fly to left his first time. And it's fouled away.
Love coming to Citizens Bank Park. Best ice cream in all of the league at the press level. It's only been around since 2004, but plenty of awesome history here already. It's the only stadium with multiple postseason no-hitters. Remember Roy Halladay did it back in 2010? And the Houston Astros threw a combined no-no in Game 4 of the 2022 World Series.
That one ripped. That's back. And caught on the warning track.
That's just a really nice catch on the run right there. He saved extra bases for sure. If the pitcher's his friend, he'll give him a second to catch his breath before he's ready to deal the next pitch.
2 outs, base is empty. Next to hit for the Nats, Luis Garcia. Ground ball left side, and that's just foul. Misses the zone for a ball. That was the sweeper.
1 ball, 1 strike.
So a foul ball makes it 1-2. Two down, nobody on. Swing and a miss. Wheeler gets the strikeout. And the Nationals gone in order. And it remains a 3-1 ball game. And welcome back to the ballpark. Bottom 4, here's JT Realmuto.
JT Realmuto.
Missed inside with the curve. The 1-0. A bit behind with that swing. It's strike 1.
Well, there's a certain point where you have to commit to what you think you see, and he guessed wrong right there. Nasty slider with just terrific bite at the end.
And that curveball drops in there for a strike. That one 95 to finish him off. This is Bryson Stott. Reached on an infield single his first time. We talk about guys with good speed, and definitely he has it. But pushing the offense aside for just a second, Chris, it's the defensive side that I think the speed factors in the most. Swinging a foul straight back.
Well, he gets to balls that get by most people at that position. Just really impressive because there are certain times the ball comes off the bat, automatically that team that hit it thinks that they've got a base hit, or they may have extra bases, and he just takes it away.
Now batting, center fielder, Johan.
And stepping in is the speedy Johan Rojas. Singled and scored his first time. Swing at a ball lifted to center field. And makes the play, and that's out number 3. Back here in Philadelphia, ready now for the 5th inning. And now, 13, Ahmed Rosario. Chris, his skill set straight out of the mid-80s. Good contact, not much power, and he could run. He always uses the wheels to his advantage.
His biggest challenge in this day and age is to not get caught up in trying to hit home runs because so many people are.
Out to center, Rojas. Pulls it down, and he makes the catch. And there's one down.
The center fielder, number 3, Dylan Cruz.
And now the center fielder, Dylan Cruz. Just missed.
That's the ball. 1 ball, no strike.
Base is empty, 1 away, and we're at the top of the 5th. Late with the swing there.
I wouldn't throw him another breaking ball. Try to go again with the fastball, slightly elevated. He just is having a hard time catching up.
One down, base is empty. Cut out and missed. Curveball struck him out.
Well, that's a curveball that I'm sure he wants back at the plate. 2 strikes, sort of pitcher hoping for a bit of a mistake, and I'd say in a very hittable location, but clearly the break was enough to get him to swing through it.
Nasim Nunez digging in for the Nationals. Swing, and this one's bounced on the ground. And that is the inning. Nationals go quietly. Score holds. It's 3-1. Back at Citizens Bank Park. Trey Turner now.
The shortstop, Trey.
Hey, partner, back in 2023, Turner homered off the same pitcher twice in the same inning. Only a few players have ever done it, and his were against his former team, the Washington Nationals.
Swing and a ball drilled in the air towards right center field. Hauls it in, and there's one away.
The first baseman, number 3, Bryce.
So Harper stands in. And a fastball clips the outside corner for a strike. Well, it was bumpy in the early going for the lefty, but he settled into a really nice groove. Late swing, foul to the left. Oh, and he hit him. He had 2 strikes on him, and he hit him.
Now batting, third baseman.
And now it's Alec Bohm.
And remember, he was absolutely robbed of a base hit last time up.
Late on that fastball. Activity in the Washington bullpen. Lucas Sims getting ready to go. Poche warming up as well. Wide throw, and it gets away. Doesn't get too far away, so no one moves up.
Now batting, the designated
Here comes
hitter,
the skipper,
Kyle
and we're going to see a pitching change in this
Schwarber.
spot. Mackenzie Gore out of the game, and the line not closed on him yet as he's responsible for the runners on base. Back with a new pitcher after this.
Now pitching for
Colin
Washington,
Poche will take over
number
here.
41.
Still pretty early in the ball game,
Colin
so this bullpen has some work
Poche.
ahead of them. Best case scenario might be if he can come in here and get several quick outs, kind of bridge the gap that starter left for him.
And Kyle Schwarber will come up. First round pick out of Indiana back in 2014. Yeah, big swing and a miss.
0-1.
Runners at first and second with one gone. Last half of inning number 5. Next offering is fouled back. Two on, one out. Got him swinging.
Third time he struck out in this one, and definitely an individual
Right
performance
fielder,
you want to
number 8,
flush. He just
Nick.
hasn't looked very comfortable up there. Just one of those days. But when you're still winning the ball game, at least you can focus on doing your part to maintain that lead, getting that W.
Here's Nicholas Castellanos, 1 for 2. And that one just misses. A ball and no strikes. Fastball is outside.
Tough spot right here. A couple runners on. 2-ball count. You can't nibble, but you have to execute and finish your pitch. If you leave something out over the plate, it's going to bring in some runs.
Up and in, and now 3-0.
That's a good pitch there. Really had some run and finished a little up and in just on the edge. And that's one of those, if you swing at it, you hit a broken bat as you jog back to the dugout.
Ripped, but it curls foul. And they're all loaded up.
Pretty easy walk right there. Last pitch wasn't even much
now
to think about.
batting, left fielder,
Max Kepler digs in now. 0 for 2 in this one. Base hit, 1 run is in. Ball comes in, runner stops at third. Bases still loaded with 2 out.
Went up there looking to be aggressive and got something he could handle. Nice line drive to the pull side, met it out front, but just stayed through it nice enough and ripped it into the outfield.
2 outs, bases full. It'll bring up JT Realmuto. Out to short. They get the force. That ends the inning and stops things from getting out of hand. But they pick up 1 run on the RBI single. It's now a 4-1 ball game. You're watching Major League Baseball on the show. Back here in Philadelphia, top 6 up now for Washington. Alex Call. Call in his 2nd season, 30 years old now, and he was a 3rd-round pick back in 2016. And there's a strike.
Well, these Nats, as this game goes on, have to be more disciplined at the plate. They've been chasing pitches outside the zone all game, and it's led to some frustrating moments. They've been fooled quite a bit today.
Fights that one away, and the count remains 0-2. Knocks that one away, and we'll do it again. Chases that one out of the zone. And that's 6 Ks for him in this one.
He came out of his mechanics there. Typically likes to shoot the ball the other way, but that time a little anxious.
James Wood digging in for the Nationals. In the air, right field. Castellanos in position, 2 away.
Now batting, the catcher, K-Birds.
2 down, base is empty. And it's the catcher for the Nationals, Keibert Ruiz. Hit on the ground up the middle. That's a base hit. And that keeps the inning going.
Now batting, the first baseman, Nathaniel.
Here's Nathaniel Lowe.
Went down looking on 3 pitches last time. Let's see if he can be a little more aggressive right here.
And that's a base hit. And now first and second with 2 outs.
The batter, the designated hitter, Josh Bell.
Josh Bell at the plate now. Swing and a pop-up. Foul territory for the catcher. Nabs it, and that is that. 2 left on. 8-9-1 scheduled in the bottom of the 6th. It's the Phillies 4 and the Nats 1. Back here, Citizens Bank Park, bottom of the 6th. So digging in now for Philadelphia, Bryson Stott. Poche back to work. Out towards left center. Cruz puts it away for the out.
Now
and there's one down.
Center fielder, Johan Rojas.
Johan Rojas stands in for the Phillies. Out towards right center field. Call. Sizing this one up. And puts the squeeze on that one. 2 down.
The batter, number 7. Shortstop,
Trey Turner at the plate.
Turner.
He's already homered in this game. Clips the corner. 0-1.
Calling at bat can be a little bit of a dance. Strike 1 here, but a few more pitches. We'll see how it turns out.
2 down, nobody on. Here in the bottom of the 6th. And the slider just misses. Pop foul out of play off to the right. Two outs. Swing and a ground ball. The throw to first, and they get Turner for the out. And that is the inning. So no runs, no hits, no errors, and no one left. 7th inning coming up. It's the Phillies 4 and the Nats 1. And welcome back to the ballpark. Top of inning number 7, and now up for Washington, Luis Garcia. Swing and a miss as he was late.
I really like how he's been attacking hitters early in at bats. He's thrown strikes on the first pitch to over 70% of the guys he's faced in this one.
Ripped on the ground to second. Stott over to first in time. And the leadoff hitter set down to open the 7th.
If you want to be a great defense, you have to deliver consistently. It doesn't matter how many highlight reel plays you make if you can't execute the small stuff, just like we saw. Oh, I think the key, if he can get through one more inning, anything after that, a hitter or two is bonus, but they should be lined up good enough to get to the finish line. When a guy's throwing a lot of first pitch strikes as a hitter, you got to be ready to hit. Now, that's not going to help you get deep into his pitch count and into the bullpen, but you got to take what he's offering that day.
Right through there for a strike. The Nationals trailing by 3 here in the top half of inning number 7. Swings and misses at the breaking ball in the dirt. Real Muto down to first. Out. 2 away now after the drop third strike.
Well, he's showing some pretty dominating stuff out there in this one, not just in terms of swing and miss, but also in terms of command. You know, all of the strikeouts, they just kind of speak for themselves, but when you don't walk anyone, you're demonstrating that you have the confidence in your abilities to truly go right after opposing batters.
And the batter now, Dylan Cruz. Next pitch is outside.
1-1.
On the ground to the left. Boom. On the run, sends it over to first, and they get the out. 3 up, 3 down for Washington, and they trail it 4-1.
Now pitching for
We're
the
back in a new pitcher here to start the bottom of the 7th. Lucas Sims.
Just trying to keep this one close here, and this is where a bullpen can give their players a chance to fight back into the game.
So here
Leading
is
up
Bryce
for the
Harper.
Phillies, the first baseman, Bryce Harper.
Ball 1 to Bryce.
Well, these Phillies, simply put, are producing a lot of quality swings. We've heard lots of loud noise coming from their bats in this one, haven't we? I mean, they've logged 6 hits at 90-plus exit velocity, and that doesn't happen by accident.
That smash towards center. Hauls it in for the out.
Up next for the Phillies, the third baseman, Alec.
And now for the Phillies,
Bohm.
Alec Bohm. 1 for 3. Swing and a ground ball base hit right field. So they get a man aboard with a 1-out single. Kyle Schwarber comes up to hit here. 3 strikeouts already. He's 0 for 3. Foul ball there. The next pitch misses, and it's 1-1.
1 ball, 1 strike.
Boom. The runner at first with 1 gone in the inning. Swing and a miss. 1-2.
He's had a tough day at the plate. 3 strikeouts already. It's hard not to think negative, but you got to find a way to somehow center up the baseball and put it in play.
Look out! And it hit him. He had him 1-2, and he ends up hitting him with a pitch.
Now
so up
batting,
next,
the right
Nick
fielder,
Castellanos.
Castellanos.
One ball, no
In the
strikes.
dirt. To third. Tag. Got him.
Pretty smart not to serve something up for him right there. He's really good at hitting the first pitch.
On a line, base hit. The throw in. And he's out.
Tag, you're out.
Cut down, and that ends the inning. Phillies strand one, but they lead it 4-1. We're at the top of the 8th. Up now for Washington, Nasim Nunez. Fought off foul. Here's your 1. Swing and a ball line to center. And a base hit. So a runner aboard to start the inning.
Up
I
next
could
for the
watch base
Nationals,
hits like that
the
one
right
all
fielder,
day
Alex
long, and so could every hitting coach in the
Hall.
league. Just a nice line drive into center field.
Back to the top of the order now. Alex Call digging in for the Nationals. 0 for 3 in this one. Just missed.
Now this team is definitely looking for a big swing of the bat right here. Try to close that gap. But, you know, at the very least, if you could find a way to manufacture that run from first, it feels like it's really important to getting back into this ball game.
Hey!
If it were an average catcher behind the plate, I'd say take second base. But this isn't a catcher you want to run on. His quick release is unreal.
Puts it in the air out towards left center. Rojas makes the grab, and there's one away. Here's the left
The
fielder,
left fielder,
James
number
Wood.
29, James Wood.
That
That's the
misses.
ball.
Ball 1. Man at first, one away. Delivers a pitch in for a strike at 95.
Pretty rare location right there, right down the middle. This guy paints the edges. I'm not sure if you're going to see that pitch again as a hitter.
Just off the inside edge.
2-1.
On the ground to short, could be 2. Over to stop for 1. Double play. They can't seem to break through. Inning over. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and no one left. Home half of inning number 8 straight ahead. It's the Phillies 4 and the Nats 1. Back here in Philadelphia, on to the bottom of the 8th, and digging in for Philadelphia, Max Kepler. Swing and a foul out of play. Almost
1-1.
got him.
Ball. Three balls, 1 strike.
That one hit to right. Call. Brings it in. And there's one down.
Now batting, the catcher.
Here comes Real Muto. This is a
Muto.
guy who is very highly regarded defensively. Fun to watch him control stuff behind the plate. Good game caller. Good at framing. But it's that big arm that really stands out. A swing and a miss. And that's strike one.
When you got a catcher like this guy with a big arm like that behind the plate, it really shuts down the running game.
That one misses, and now it's even 1-1.
Well, I'll say this as a former position player and base stealer. When you come into a game and you've got a guy like this behind the dish with a big arm, you really have to change your approach. Can't try to steal because you'll get thrown out. Maybe get a little bigger lead, be aggressive on the secondary, but this type of guy shuts the running game down.
Out to short, Nunez. Zips it across. And Real Muto is out.
Now batting, the second baseman, Bryson.
2 outs, base is empty. So digging in now for Philadelphia, Bryson Stott. And that's in there at the knees. 2 down, nobody on. Here, the bottom half of the 8th inning. Popped up. Wood sizes this one up. Brings it in for the 3rd out. No runs, no hits, no errors. Through 8 full, it's the Phillies 4 and the Nats 1. And we're back. We go to the 9th, and it's the catcher for the Nationals, Keibert Ruiz. Wheeler back to work. And first offering is fouled off.
What makes him special is a lot of pitchers lose movement in their stuff the deeper they go into a game, but he's just different. We see plenty of break in his pitches even when he's running a little low in the tank.
Hit weakly on the ground towards second. Stop. And a quick out, number 1.
Those plays can be tricky. They're routine, but that doesn't mean it's always going to be smooth. He delivered a good play right there.
Nathaniel Lowe up to hit. On the ground, right side. Throws to first in time. And a couple of quick outs.
That play won't be trending on social media later on, but it's still important to execute it to perfection. This game is a lot harder than it looks, partner.
So they're down to their final out. Digging in, Josh Bell. And the first pitch misses for ball 1.
1-0.
The Phils leading by 3 here at the top of the 9th. Next offering is in for a strike. Sends it to center, and that's going to do it. And he's got it. Ball game. And the Phillies claim the win here behind some great pitching and defense.
It seemed like from the first pitch of this ball game, this guy was going to get it done. A quality start. Who knew he'd throw a complete game and get the victory? But an excellent job of continuing to just throw what the catcher put down. He navigated through this ball game, a jam here, a jam there, but ultimately it was an outstanding outing.